National debt. The national debt has increased over $3 trillion in the last year alone, which nearly equals the increase in the national debt in all of the previous 8 years. Now, granted, Medicare and the Social Security system are big contributors to the spending problem, but the White House and Congress have conveniently refrained from talking about fixing those systems as they have tried to shove huge new bureaucracies down our throats. And then just yesterday, the president released its budget proposal for FY 2011. It not only showed a projected deficit of $1.3 trillion for FY 2011, but it projected an even bigger deficit for this fiscal year than previously reported. It is now up to $1.6 trillion. To make matters worse, last week, the Senate voted to increase again the federal statutory debt limit by 15%. They moved it from $12.4 trillion to $14.3 trillion. Now, although the House of Representatives will also have to approve the new debt limit and the president must sign it, the likelihood of them not doing so is somewhere between 0 and 0. You do the math. Now, most people can't relate to $14.3 trillion. So here's another way to explain the pain. The new debt limit represents an additional $5,000 for every man, woman, and child living in this country. This is on top of the $40,000 of debt the government had already committed for each of us over the previous 2 administrations. Sooner or later, it will have to be repaid, or eventually the state of our union will be bankrupt. Now, unlike some big banks and General Motors, the USA is not too big to fail. Uncle Sam does not have a bailout sugar daddy. And to say that spending is out of control is an understatement. Mr. President, we cannot spend our way to prosperity. You have veto power for a reason. Please use it to stop the runaway tsunami spending. Energy. This country does not have an energy independence strategy because it starts with utilizing all of our own natural resources to reduce our dependence on oil from countries who are not necessarily our friends. Mr. President, please remove the barriers to the development of our natural resources in this country. We can be environmentally responsible, but we do not have to go broke to go green. New threats to our livelihoods and liberties are unprecedented by this administration and Congress with massive new proposed bureaucratic legislation. But the good news is that people are waking up. They are saying emphatically and against traditional political wisdom that we will not surrender our liberties. We will not surrender our liberties. Just consider the latest gubernatorial results in Virginia, New Jersey, and Massachusetts. Now, those results suggest something else. It also suggests that unlike previous midterm elections, where people had short memories or no memories at all, we will remember in November of 2010. Mr. President, the lack of effective steps to address these issues has put this country in a severe state of uncertainty. This has put businesses in a state of stop and the economy in a state of stalled. The Declaration of Independence states that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish them. Mr. President and members of Congress, we are asking you to alter your political agenda and embrace the people's agenda of less government, less taxes, and less regulations. We hope you are listening. This has been the voice of the people giving you the real State of the Union. Thank you.
This has been a presentation by the Hardage Company and TVTownHall.com.